The argument for getting a Honda Navi is ridiculously simple. Almost any electric bicycle will cost you as much or more money, and no electric bicycle can hit 55 miles per hour. You do need a motorcycle license to ride a Navi. However, because this little 109cc motorcycle or scooterish machine has an automatic transmission, the steepness of your learning curve just got way flatter. Mastering shifting as well as riding doubles the complexity of riding most motorcycles, particularly if you've never driven a manual shift car. It's really down to a simple formula. First, 10-inch rear and 12-inch front wheels are pretty small for a motorcycle, and they make it very easy to dart around in slow-speed city traffic, producing a quick on-its-toes sprightliness to the Navi. Add in a low, 30.1-inch seat height, straightforward cockpit controls and especially the absence of a clutch lever or shifter, and a motorcycle really couldn't be less intimidating. A 109cc motor will either seem anemic if you're already a throttle twister, or won't mean anything at all if you've never ridden. If the latter describes you, know that this is a somewhat large displacement in the scooter realm, and that creates pep if not fireworks from about 0 to 30 miles per hour. At about 45 miles per hour and above, acceleration gets glacial. You can stretch the little Honda to 55 miles per hour, depending on whether or not you're steaming into a headwind, but without a fairing to help make the Honda more aerodynamic, you will be limited to local roads. So what you're looking at is a commuter bike for around town, and for that duty it's excellent. The ergonomics make the seating position pretty comfortable, unlike a lot of scooters that require your feet to be inboard, ahead of you like you're sitting in a chair. With the Navi you straddle the bike and use your right foot on a pedal to apply the rear brake. This classic motorcycling posture feels safer, because it lets you use your legs to grip the seat and soak up potholes and jolts. All of that gives you more control, and you'll want it, since the Navi's suspension only has 3.5 inches of travel from the fork and 2.8 inches at the shock, which means the little Honda can get bounced around on rough roads. The single-cylinder motor is positioned under your butt. On most motorcycles it's perched further forward in the chassis, just ahead of your body. That rearward positioning gives the Navi a bit more stability than other scooters I've tested, so despite a wheelbase shorter than some electric bicycles, even at 50 miles per hour, the Navi doesn't get unsettled. I rode it on a windy day, and even with a stiff crosscurrent pushing sideways against me and the bike, it wasn't hard to keep the Navi on course. Also, that funky motor arrangement leaves room for a 15-liter box within the frame. That keyed waterproof trunk is just big enough for bringing takeout dinner back to your pad, or, provided you don't wear size 15 kicks, to stow a pair of shoes and a jacket, or a change of pants and a shirt. You should wear protective clothing when you ride, but that introduces the conundrum of how to carry a change of garb when you arrive. This way you could toss the protective jacket in a backpack and carry your shoes inside the bike. Honda also makes a rear rack and other accessories for the Navi, expanding use cases and capabilities. You can't get ABS brakes, but you really don't require them since the drums the Navi uses front and rear are nigh on impossible to lock up in the dry anyway. Having said that, the right-hand front and right foot rear slow the 236-pound scoot pretty dang effectively anyway. On any kind of small vessel like this in traffic, the key is always to anticipate when accel and decel will be required as far in advance as possible. In fact, tiny vehicles like this teach you acute, meerkat-like traffic awareness. Some larger mammal could still turn left in front of you, but somehow it feels less likely since their brainstem has probably already identified you as a potential food source, which beats not registering you at all. Really, apart from the brakes, the Navi's not half bad. It might look tiny in the photos, but it's spacious enough for a full-size adult. Our luxurious 50.6 in. Wheelbase is 5.6 in, longer than the Monkey's, and the Navi provides passenger footpegs which the Monkey does not.